Good evening. Shit. The fuck. The fuck.
What? What?
What is going on? I don't like the mask. Take it off. It reminds me of False Face from the Batman TV show. Welcome to Loud and Nerdy on a Tuesday night. We're in a creepy mood, of course. Halloween is this week. Do you guys have welcome everybody. My name is JW Colwell. I'm joined as always by Kyle Defina and good evening, friends. Good evening, Kim McKernan and Jerry Kamora. We will have two guests tonight. We're gonna have Jason A, comedian, Jason A, musician, and one of our friends from high school, Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're also going to have Robert Bass, who is coming on the show, and he will be talking about his brand new show that is premiering on our network on November 7th, called Class Clown, World Class Clown with Robert Bass, starting Thursday, November 7th, exclusively on the Indie Escape Network, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on November 7th, a Thursday. Should be great. He's a very funny man. I saw him for the first time on our network the other night. Hello, Missy. Hi, guys. Hi, Missy. And we're in a good mood. Jason's coming on. Robert's coming on. Let's get to some of the stuff we want to talk about. So there was somebody stop me. Stop you from what?
Somebody stop me.
I have my sticker. I did what I was supposed to do today. I wore the shirt, Truth, Justice, and the American Way. Give you some indication who I'm voting for. Not Trump. I'm not voting for Trump. Anyway, moving on and going somewhere else.
You just made Jerry angry.
Did I make Jerry angry?
Make me angry. You wouldn't like me. Don't make me angry, Mr. McGee. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Well, here's the thing.
McGee.
Let's not go into this rabbit hole. Let's not go into this rabbit hole.
I just can't get into the call. Anyway, moving on. So I'm finishing up. I have 2 movies left. Oh no, Kyle lost his forehead. Missy saw Frankenstein for the first time ever this weekend. Congratulations, Missy.
Oh, I got some fun stories about that when you're ready.
Oh no, that's what we're gonna get there.
Old school.
Yeah, I said when you're ready.
Oh no, I got you. Do you guys? I was gonna start tonight. Do you guys have any specific Halloween traditions that you either did in the past or do now, or specific movies you watch or anything like that? And I'll let you guys start, and then I'll tell you what we're going to be doing this year and what I've been doing every year since I was little. So go ahead.
This is the first time in 30 years I'm not
doing Rocky Horror.
Golfed in 400 Rocky Horror shows in the month of October. And I'm enjoying the fact that that's the case. And we've been trying to do more haunts and more fun stuff. And yeah, I mean, anyone that was ever in a shadow cast, as this comment, tells you.
Rocky Horror every year for 20 years?
Yeah.
Jerry, what about you? Do you have any go-tos? Do you have anything you do? Or like, I know your family, they do big parties, and your parents have.
Well, yeah. When I was a bachelor on Halloween,
good evening, Jim.
It was either parties or movies. Then when you have kids, it's like you have to do the trick or treat thing on Halloween.
Yeah, we're so there's a huge street, a bunch of streets banded together in this little town we live in Florida, and they do the badass it's just wall-to-wall houses, kids everywhere, people everywhere, candy galore, really good costume, themed houses. And so we're doing that this year. 2 more Silver Shamrock. So yeah, I then always watch Halloween, the original Halloween with Michael Myers, John Carpenter, 78. Doesn't ever get any worse. And Trick or Treat, which is my new, Trick or Treat, the anthology with Sam and the busload of kids and the people making bad mistakes on Halloween, doing bad things, is easily one of my favorite horror anthologies and also one of my favorite horror movies. So, speaking of horror movies, and I know Colin and I were talking about this. I didn't set up to do. Thanks, Kyle, for ordering the 5X. Okay. JW 31 and 31. I didn't set it up so that everybody would be watching the same movies. I more did it as a way for me to see a bunch of movies I haven't seen, and also if you maybe were interested in those movies, maybe you might like them too. So I'm going to give you 22 to 29 quickly because we have guests tonight, and then also talk about what we did on Generation Movie last night because I think I need to discuss it. So I did the Fun House. Is Pumpkinhead
Nice.
the Great Pumpkin? No. I did the Fun House. Lot of fun. Really well done. Good slasher. Scary monster. Great makeup. Tobe Hooper movie. Really good. I enjoyed it immensely. I then followed it up with another slasher I'd never seen from the 80s called
Oh, I love that movie.
Alone in the Dark. Let me tell you, folks.
I love that movie.
Let me tell you, folks, if you've never seen this movie, so it's basically about a bunch of people. They're in a mental facility. Donald Pleasance is the doctor, and basically he's a doctor that doesn't believe in putting patients, any kind of limitations on his patients, even when they're schizophrenic and possibly dangerous. And the only way they can stay in is if the electricity's on, power goes out. So alone in the dark. And then what happens is a new doctor comes to their facility. They think the four schizophrenic guys think he killed the old doctor.
Murdoch.
And it's Dwight Schultz who played Murdoch from the A-Team. The other cast, it's Donald Pleasance, Jack Palance, Martin Landau.
Landau's laugh is amazing.
Landau is creepy as fuck. Anyway, it's a great movie. It becomes a home invasion thriller. And it's way ahead of its time with the home invasion stuff. Really good. I cannot recommend it enough. One of my highlights. A movie that I will rewatch again just for Palance and Landau. Great. Then I moved on. I saw Terrifier 3 in theaters. I was by myself. The theater was empty. And I can't tell you what a nerve-wracking experience it is to watch this movie. Sitting in a theater alone, looking over your shoulder every 5 minutes. The other thing, one thing I will say as a bit of a critique of the Terrifier movies, again, not for the faint of heart. Definitely go in, make sure you're hitting them, make sure you haven't eaten a full meal. Very gory. What I do want to say is one of the things that I think is interesting about Terrifier 3 and Smile, right? Terrifier has not given us Art's backstory. And I think we're going to get it at some point. And when it does, I think it becomes one of the greatest horror franchises ever. Right now, it's amazingly gory, well done, independent cinema at its finest, with the idea that they've made themselves into a household name. All right, they spent $2 million on marketing on this movie, and it's grossed almost $50 million. It's a win, but I think they could get a little more. If that makes any sense. Anyway, I started getting into kind of like culty movies, and this movie, Kill List, holy shit. It starts out as just a regular kind of a guy with PTSD having trouble in his marriage, and he has his buddy takes him on these missions where they kill a bunch of people, and then they start working for this one guy, and he's killing very specific people, and then the last half hour is just crazy town. It's absolutely, and the final scene is worth you watching it on Shudder. Just trust me. Don't read anything about it. Don't, because I guarantee if you hit right Kill List in your Google, it will tell you Kill List ending. Shocker. Yes, it's fucking nuts. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's by this guy named Ben Wheatley, who's done a series of these really weird kind of existential horror films, and it's just great. Really well done. Good acting. It looks like a regular kind of like crime movie, and then it shifts. Next movie was Huesuera, The Bone Woman, all in Spanish. It's based on Mexican folklore. It also has LGBTQ themes. A fascinating movie about a woman who gets pregnant and then has like some sort of demon around her. It doesn't quite make it all the way, but it's interesting and well done. And I wouldn't recommend if you're pregnant. Then I hit some older movies. So 2027 was
Great
The
special
Prowler.
effects.
The Prowler. This movie, great design, good concept,
Tom Savini.
great kills. The kills are
It's Tom Savini. That's why.
they're fucking amazing. Um, I, it misses ever so close for me, Jerry, because I didn't like, like at the end of most 80s slasher movies, they reveal who the killer was, and you're like, oh, it was that guy. When they revealed the killer, I knew who it was, but I didn't know what his ties were. So,
Right.
hi, Raven. I hope you're enjoying the bar. I know you're out. So it's ever so close as to being a great slasher, but it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, kills are great, and the costume design is really cool, right? And you know what, Jerry, this movie is right for a remake, a reboot.
Rosemary's Killer.
That's what I'm saying. Then I watched The Mutilator, or I watched Fall Break.
Fall Break.
Or I watched The Mutilator, or I watched The Fall Break, and they're the same fucking movie. And they are another 80s movie with really interesting kills, including one with the hook in the poster in the vajayjay. That's just, I can't believe they got away with it. But as it's happening, it's like, holy shit. Anyway, again, another great movie, good kills. But I didn't know who the guy was. I'm like, is it just a fucking like guy that's robbing all the shit in the condo and he's killing all these kids who are fucking around at the beach? So again, a little bit of a step down, but the kills are pretty. It's earned its reputation. Like, and when you have a poster that says "by sword, by pick, by axe, by buy," you know what you're getting. But then I would also point out to you, Jerry, and would you agree with me? The music in this fucking movie,
Yeah, it's a little off.
bonkers. I don't. Okay. And the
You
music
said those
is
two movies were very similar. She loves 80s movies
Yeah.
that are similar to each other.
well.
Those are
This one,
comments.
this one doesn't have as great a
Yeah.
design on the killer. Just from some fucking homeless guy living in the basement. It's weird. And the music. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're gonna watch the first 10 minutes, and you're gonna think you're watching some sort of comedy where a bunch of people are going around to fuck at the beach and get into hijinks drinking some beer. That's what you're going to think. And then it doesn't happen that way. And then the last movie I watched today, 29. So I'm right on pace to hit my 31. I'm probably going to get both 30 and 31 in tomorrow. I watched this movie called The Vigil, and it is great. And it's from 2019, and it's basically it's based in Jewish folklore and Jewish history. And basically, what happens is this down on his luck Jewish man who has just left the Hasidic faith is trying to make it in the regular Jewish world, where he's not being supported as much as he was in the Hasidic faith. And basically, one of his friends says, "I need you to be a shomer for this person that passed away and doesn't have any family." And what a shomer is in the Jewish faith, in the Hasidic faith, they basically have somebody sit with the body before some people come and pick it up. So it's kind of like a wake, but it's called a shomer. And he basically says prayers and keeps the demons away from the body before the people that come and take it and do all the things with it. Well, it turns out that the guy doing the shomer is not only poor, but he's had some bad things happen. He has some demons in his life. And it turns out that the guy that he's doing the shomer for has a wife that's borderline Alzheimer's ish, and also that he has a demon so it's not only the kid fighting his demons, but he actually has to fight a demon from called a Mezek. And I just found it so good, and it's creative and well done. And I did some research on it, and the guy who did it I was looking up his stuff, right, to see if maybe I had seen other things from him, and the director is this gentleman named Keith Thomas, and I was like, okay. So Keith Thomas he directed The Vigil. He also directed Firestarter, the recent Firestarter reboot. He also directed wrote the first Omen, which I haven't gotten to, but I'm planning to. And then I found out he did one of my favorite episodes of Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities called Pickman's Model, which is one of the best versions of that show. And so I kind of fell in love with this movie. That's where I'm at. I'm at 29. Really good, super cool. It's something I didn't like. Two of the movies, the Huesuera, the Bone Woman, and The Vigil, I like are very cool because they're not our culture, and they're based on folklore and different things.
So we want a judgment call on this one.
Yeah.
I was going to bring this up, but someone had to post it. Me and Melissa last night, we watched Elvira, Mistress of the Night. We both kind of vaguely remember parts of it and everything.
Sure.
Because it came out so long ago. But it was kind of like watching it for the first time. Does that count for the 31 and 31, do you think?
Yes. Yes, and I'll explain why. Because I think there are movies we've definitely seen. I put a couple on the list that I might wanted to rewatch that I just haven't seen in a really long time. So I think it does count. Especially if you don't remember the whole movie, right?
Because then,
okay, so Dark Knight.
Melissa's right there with you. Actually, her whole list is online. The comment didn't get it all, but a lot of them are ones that you got too. Sleepaway Camp, Mr. Crockett Funhouse, People Under the Stairs, 30 Days of Night.
She had never seen People Under the Stairs? People
No.
Under the Stairs is such a good movie.
Now, here's going to be the surprise, though, for you guys. This weekend, we went to the Mahoney. So she got two movies in one night because of Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein.
So I'll ask you, because you're going to be like the kind of a representative, right? Which one did she like better?
I think she likes Frankenstein better. But we found out for years. I mean, she's in the chat. She'll tell us, and we'll highlight it. But for years, I've always made a joke, fire bad. And then in the middle of Frankenstein, it says it. She just looks at me. She goes, "That's why you've been saying it all these years?"
Oh my God, really?
Yeah,
what'd she think of the little girl getting thrown into the lake?
Oh, almost horrified by that too.
It's that scene to show how forward we've come. We have Terrifier 3 playing in theaters now. That scene when it was in theaters got cut because people couldn't handle it.
That's why 4 minutes into the show, this comment came across.
Fire bad. There you go. Also, I think for me, between the two, I love Frankenstein. But, okay, Kyle's right. I did like Frankenstein more. I like Bride of Frankenstein because Bride of Frankenstein to me has James Whale at the top of his game, and they're playing with like the Dr. Pretorius stuff is weird. I was very super traumatized about the little girl getting thrown in the lake. He ran out of flowers. Had to happen. It's okay. How could the monster know she can swim? That's what I'm saying. He didn't know, and also he ran out of flowers. To be honest, it's her fault missing. I think both performances are great. And I think Elsa Lancaster in The Bride of Frankenstein is amazing. Well, the whole thing is about building her, and how she reacts to.
Want a date?
Oh my God, it goes poorly for her.
It's so funny though, like watching both of them, just how fast they went by because of how short movies were and the production that it took to put it all together. But like, it felt like both movies were.
Well, and the makeup, like
the
Karloff makeup and the Lancaster makeup, and Bride of Frankenstein, James Whale, the Dr. Pretorius stuff with like little people on the stage and all that other stuff. Whale was a homosexual in 1930s Hollywood. And it was his way of kind of saying, hey, there are things going on. There's a great movie about the making of Bride of Frankenstein called Gods and Monsters with Ian McKellen. Really great. Him and Brendan Fraser. Highly recommend it. I do want to talk about a little bit because of Bride of Frankenstein. That's something that did happen like in the last 3 hours before we came on tonight.
You met a Frankenhooker?
No, not Frankenhooker. Get out of here.
I have to watch that.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the passing of Terry Garr.
Oh yeah, saw that.
Mostly known for Young Frankenstein
Mr.
and
Mom.
Mr. Mom and
Putting on the Ritz.
It was in short time too.
And yeah, and and Tootsie, and she had MS, but she was like she was one of the more talented actresses, comedic wise. Quick wit was always, and Jerry, I know you'll recognize this as well and understand what I'm talking about. She was very much, in her screen career that spanned 40 years, she was very much a go-to actress because of her charm and her wit and her persona. She was on the Tonight Show a lot. She was very quick, right? She started in 1974 in The Conversation. She then made Young Frankenstein, which was fantastic. Mel Brooks said, her humor and lively spirit made Young Frankenstein set a pleasure to work on. Her German accent had us all in stitches. She'll be greatly missed. She was then in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right? She then was in Tootsie, which is one of the great American comedies of all time. And she got an Oscar nomination for it. She played a neurotic actress who was, basically Dustin Hoffman breaks her heart and then steals her role on the show, right? And it's just, she was Martin Scorsese on After Hours. She was Robert Altman in Pret-a-Porter.
I like
She
that.
made a movie called One from the Heart, which is a 1982 musical that was a disaster, but it has become a much bigger movie now. And she would mostly be known to the next generation as Lisa Kudrow's mom on Friends, right? But she was so talented and so funny. Yeah, she tried to get a Star Trek spinoff. Yeah,
I forgot
but
about
she
After
was
Hours.
so funny in
Good.
everything she was in. And then, I just, if she showed up in the movie you were watching, you went, okay, great. You know what I mean? Amazing. And you know what I mean? The movie was better for having her, right? She's one of those actresses that makes everything she's in just a little bit better, but a great film career. But she's an older actress, and she also, she was 79. She wrote a book about a 2005 autobiography called Speed Bumps, Flooring It Through Hollywood, about basically where she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and how it kind of whittled away her career a little bit. And but she was like, to put it into a contemporary phase as well. In 2006, after she wrote the book, she actually had a stroke and a brain aneurysm that caused her to lose speech functions and part of her motor skills. So then, one of the people that talked very highly of her was Tina Fey, right? Who was once quoted as saying, there was a time where Terry Garr wasn't everything. She was adorable, but also very real. Her body was real, her teeth were real, and you thought she could be your friend. Which, coming from a contemporary like Tina Fey, is an amazing, somebody that Tina Fey looked up. So I rest in peace, Terry Garr.
She made Mean Girls.
Tina Fey? Yes, she did. That's
Yes.
good. Excellent, Kyle. You've gotten one
Reference
question.
good. Fire bad.
Reference good.
Reference
Fire
good.
bad.
Fire bad.
Okay,
That's why they tune in. Just for those one-liners right there.
Yes, that's why they. Yes, that's why they tune in.
One-liners. One-liners good. JW bad. Wait, what?
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 That seems mad. That seems mean, Dick.
Happy Halloween. I hate you.
I hate you, Kyle. I hate you, Kyle. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Anyway, so I want to get that in while we're talking about Bride of Frankenstein. Kyle, I also want to congratulate you. I saw you dancing around, skipping, dancing, doing all kinds of like doing the time warp. Maybe not for the last time, I don't think, but definitely for the time at the Kirby, right? You had the big.
We had a good
I don't know
turnout
what
for a
just
Sunday
happened.
night. Looked like about 500 people there. Fun time, active audience. Just it's
And
everything you want.
we wanted to say thank you, Kirby. There's your hearse in front. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Our tonight, 8 o'clock. We are retired. Is it really the end?
This is the end.
She says it is for her. I mean, I've always said I'm done actively performing. I'm done day in and day out, and there's always a one-off. Or I don't want to sound like Motley Crue or Kiss, where I'm going to sign this contract in blood and I'm never doing it again. But they're going to get fewer and further in between. That's for sure.
You have to
never
do
know
what
when
Kiss
the
is
last
going to
one
do.
will
You
be.
got to do it like a virtual thing now.
Yes, you need an animatronic Eddie,
No.
like an animatronic Kyle Eddie.
I sent you one more picture. Put that one up for me, since you
Okay.
didn't give me absolute full control.
It's not the person with no pants, is it?
I don't know why you don't have control.
But
I'm like, I had to blow that up. I'm like, is it?
I don't know why you don't have full control. It is not anything.
she is right, though. We're saving a lot of money by not doing.
It's like being in a band. Same thing.
But yeah.
So if it is indeed over, where does this
Next
show
to-
next to the Kirby Curry Donuts? Is
Yes,
Curry
there's a Curry
Donuts still,
Donuts.
is there still Curry Donuts up there?
There's some around.
Okay.
They're few and far between, also.
If it is indeed your last show, was it everything you were hoping for with regards to the show?
Yeah, it was a fun night. I'll never say. I don't know if it's the last. It might be. It might not be. There's a couple things that still want to cross off if they materialize. You
All
never know.
depends on the venue, right?
Yeah. But there's me and my wife. This Sunday will be 23 years married because of this stupid movie right here that you're looking at.
The magic of Rocky Horror. Just two kids who went to a movie, were a little horny, and then
fun story. Two kids that met at the New York City Gay Pride Parade. Because my cast,
that makes sense.
a couple of my cast members dragged me to the parade on a Sunday. Her cast was actually in the parade, and some of their cast knew some of my cast, and they dragged us in. And she was Columbia, of course. And they're like, "Oh, what part do you do?" I'm like, "Eddie." And so me and her started doing the Eddie and Columbia dance right down Fifth Avenue in New York, followed by a guy dressed from head to toe in nothing but silver paint on horseback, and the horse was also in silver paint, and neither one of them, the horse had no saddle, and the guy had no clothes on. There's a love story for you, kids.
That makes perfect sense. That somehow makes perfect sense.
There you go.
Okay, so we're having a guest we're supposed to have a guest already. But I don't know that they're coming. Maybe, hold on. I think this is, I'm not going to lie to you. This is why I don't like guests. I love guests, but this is also why guests scare me. Because, like we build a show and then we have a good show. And then,
crickets.
Oh,
that's what I mean. So we don't make as much stuff as we're going to do for the night, or I don't have anything super planned because I'm like, oh, we got two guests. That's going to take up at least 40 minutes of our time.
Yeah, but
this is why you won't let me book
you're
any
pretty
more
good at
guests
taking
either,
up
folks.
all this time anyway. I don't think it matters, really.
No, but like I said, I think
it's like, well, let's talk about
part of the appeal of our show is that it's three guys in their two in their late 40s, one in their 50s, kind of flying by the seat of their pants. He's gonna be missing a show because he'll be in Hawaii. Yeah, there you go. That's a big deal.
That's awesome.
Cool.
11 days from now. The really cool part is we're gonna be at Pearl Harbor. We have our tickets for Veterans Day.
Oh, that should be actually really good.
That should be amazing. You know?
That'd be awesome.
It should.
But
I'm trying,
Hawaii.
Stretch. Just stretch.
Yeah,
trying to see if our guest shows up. I'm fairly confident
now,
one of our guests.
Have either one of you ever done a trunk or treat? Not went, but actually been one of the cars.
No.
I haven't, but my kid has a few times.
No. I will tell you.
This is financial suicide. We did the Sunday before the Kirby show. We're like, oh, there's a trunk or treat in Wilkes-Barre. It's sponsored by the Kingston Police. I was like, I'll bring the hearse down. This will be fun. I went down with about $50 worth of candy. The cops looked at the hearse and they're like, this is awesome. Park right there in the front. I'm like, all right, cool. The cops are like, thanks for coming, shaking my hand, everything else. Melissa and Gina and a couple other cast members show up. As soon as they got there, I just handed them a credit card. I'm like, go get another $50 worth of candy.
We're out of candy, and we have the coolest car. We have the coolest car at the trunk or treat, but then you don't have.
No. There was a van there that would have Jerry in the back of it in a second, where it had just clowns and a Jack in the Box clown hanging out the side of it, and it was a fundraiser for food pantry. So you got food and horror. That's like, get Jerry in the back of the van now. You're never seeing him again.
You know what you need to do with that hearse? You have to put Morningside on the side of that hearse.
Oh, that's a good.
Tell me that wouldn't be dope.
We definitely have some photos
for Phantasm.
But I don't know that he know. Oh, I was gonna say we're gonna make it a game for a second. I was literally 10 minutes into the trunk or treat and they were out of candy. Yeah, my wife. They took the boys the other day, and the boys came back with 3 bags of candy that are. It's just
yeah.
Why don't they make popcorn balls anymore?
Because they break fucking people's teeth, Jerry.
My dad used to eat those when I went. I didn't like them, but now I'm the dad, you know?
Now,
I want to see what they taste like now that I'm like older.
But by the end of the trunk or treat, when we had like 30 pieces of candy left on the table and that was it, I'm like, all right, guys, it's like a convenience store. Take a penny, leave a penny. Let's swap out some candy here. Who wants to make a trade? Like, but we had a great time. I mean, we had a bunch of flyers.
What kind of candy did you? Okay, wait a second. This is important. Yeah. You had the coolest car at the trunk or treat. What kind of candy did you distribute?
Not good and plenties, huh?
No, we distributed everything. We had Hershey bars, Tootsie Rolls, Reese's Pieces. I mean, everything.
Okay,
we kept running.
But I just want to make sure you're not one of those fucking people that's like the Tootsie Pop, like the fucking little lollipops or the fucking.
I mean, there were a couple of like the little square Snickers that are like this big. Like, and I felt bad for even having those on.
But do you remember, like,
there's a bit of honey.
I bought out the Dollar General. There was nothing left at the Dollar General.
I do remember.
Like, I walked in there the houses that gave, the lady's like, really?
The houses that gave the bit of honey and shit, and you were just like, that fucking house can.
Mary Jane, ew.
That house can suck it. Or
near my cousin's house.
The fucking now and laters, like the 3 now and laters.
I got a worse one.
Instead of like the 3 now and laters, Jerry, instead of the pack of 4,
yeah,
like somebody would open the pack and open them into a bag, and then you would. Like they'd give you 3.
Yeah,
it's like,
wrap up.
It's not even the worst. Not even the worst. Next to my cousin's house, there was a dentist. He would give out little toothbrushes and the little mini things of toothpaste on Halloween.
That guy,
you gotta go to a bar for Halloween. That's where it's at. It's straight up cash.
Oh yeah.
It's straight up
If you're
cash.
trick or treating, that's the place to go. I don't have $1, but I have $5. Here you go, kid. Wow, $5
Oh, yeah.
in 1984 was amazing.
The last one I came back,
But
literally all
wait a
they
second.
had
Wait,
was like
that
the
is a unique.
generic like sugar with
Hold
the
on, that
stick.
is a unique sugar tube bag with a stick. The going to bars is a distinctly northeastern Pennsylvania
Oh my
thing
God, it's perfect though.
because of the VFW, right?
They love kids though.
And
like,
they love kids because, like, but
That's a
but
good
also
costume,
they love
yeah.
kids, Jerry. But as my wife and I used to say, when you would go to some of those bars, those people were so old and so creepy, and they were just like they would touch the
Bring
kids
your
like they were
ass over here, Chris.
like they were touching the kids like I desperately want to steal their life essence. You know what I mean? And you're just like, get away from the kid.
right?
Hey,
We
kid,
took
come
we,
here.
we
I got
took
candy.
we took her brother.
I remember when I was your age.
You grew up in Jersey. We trick or treat at bars. Bars are fantastic. Trick or treat.
Damn right they are.
Shit, we gave the
Yeah,
kids the
I
Jello
mean-
shots by accident. We gave the kids the Jello shots.
That stuff didn't
Well,
exist.
no, like
People
we
gave
used
out
to go-
change. They didn't have candy.
There were no fun drinks back in the day.
we used to go.
We gave you a quarter. Here's a dime.
We used to go because we would have to hit like to see family members, and I remember that because our grandparents or whatever. But we had a like my grandparents when I was a kid. They were Frink Street in Scranton. Top of the hill to the bottom of the hill was the greatest single string of houses. Every house was lit up. Every house had candy, and you could do that one whole street and not have want. You know what I mean?
Was there that one house that had the full-size candy bars?
Oh
Yeah, my grandma. My grandma gave out candy bars, but they also like my grandma also demanded tricks. Like my grandma, so like my grandma would.
Grandma was turning tricks for candy bars?
No, she would give out candy bars for tricks.
I got a trick
Fucking
for you.
asshole. That's my grandma you're talking about. Don't badmouth my grandmother. Anyway, so. But like when you were younger in Pennsylvania, what you had to do was you had to do a joke or a poem or a whatever, and like, and
Don't
so
you walk in a house. So what do you do?
what do you do?
Get candy?
Okay, one of our guests is here, so we're gonna take first come first serve, and ladies and
Did he
gentlemen.
install his Easy Pass?
No, it's multipass. No, we don't do easy pass. We're a nerd
Multipass.
show. We do multipass.
Nickel is terrible too.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's got a big show premiering on the network. We're super excited for him. It premieres, Miss Bottlecast, premieres November 7th at 10 p.m. He was on
Your
the end of the
and
night.
the hoodie start.
Now he's arriving again. And now he gets, okay. Okay. We got to move on. Get the comment down. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Bass. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Okay, so this is Kyle. This is Jerry.
We're good, but you need to introduce your friend in the back.
Yeah, who is your friend in the back?
I can't really go into details. She's in witness protection. She's surviving Diddy. So we just gonna call her Marilyn.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
How many bottles of
she's a
Luke
little
did you have to pick
traumatized.
her up?
Listen.
The
It was
struggle
a lot.
is real, Robert.
That's why she has that helmet on, because it was so many bottles of baby oil she slipped. And,
She slipped, and now she talks a little funny.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Can I ask you a question? We do stupid shit on Tuesday nights. We do serious shit on Monday nights. We do like a serious movie history show.
This is serious.
What is your show gonna be? Well, no, we're not serious. We're childlike. We're childish, childlike.
Serious.
What is your show gonna be like on a Thursday night? What do people can expect from your show?
So basically, it's just me. I don't want to say just me, but it's just me. Just things that I go through. I'm gonna have some of my friends that I do comedy with. probably, tell some of our comedy stories and our journey. But for the most part, you guys limited to Tuesday. I'm silly every day. So that's kind of where I
Oh,
reside.
I didn't say I wasn't silly. I'm just
no,
I'm on a show.
Oh, no,
We're
no.
not
every
limited till
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I'm a
Mine is on
fucking idiot the
display
rest of-
every
yeah,
day.
I'm an idiot the rest of the fucking week too.
Yeah.
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 So
Welcome to the club.
it's spooky season, Robert.
Yeah.
We're talking horror movies. I'm doing 31 and 31, which is 31
Okay.
horror movies new to me in 31 days. What's your favorite horror movie, Robert?
13 Ghosts?
The original or the new one?
There's a new one?
Well, no. Okay, wait a second. The new one is the one I think you like. Like the
Yeah,
recent one where
probably.
they're all behind the boxes and they're
Yeah.
glass
Yeah.
doors. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the new one. That movie's
The
actually
naked ghost. The one with the naked ghost. Just say it.
Right. The one with the naked ghost and the one where black people survive. Like, those are my favorite horror movies. Like, if a black person can make it to the end of the horror movie without dying, you got my vote.
I agree with that. That's
Yeah.
that's an amazing when that happens. Those are the horror movies we all have to rejoice in.
And the naked lady was just a benefit, an added benefit.
Yeah, I
rewinded
mean,
a couple times.
that
I'm
is
not gonna lie.
that is the benefit you have.
That
of going to
always
see
is.
an R-rated horror film is that we get boobs. Boobs are
Yeah.
important. They make the
Very
world go.
important.
Well, they're round and they make the world go round. But
A well-rounded
Um,
movie.
so
Hence
Robert,
my pink shirt, because it's October and breast cancer awareness month. So I got to support the boobies.
this seems like a plan. Joe is trying to get me to
Right
know
there with you.
No Shave November. I'm a baby face. I've been a baby face. Ask Jerry. I went to high school with Jerry. I've been a baby face my entire life. So when somebody says to me, I want you to grow your beard, and I'm like, I look at a beard like yours or Joe's, and I just go,
Listen, I'm gonna tell you.
how the fuck?
Pay attention to everything that you learn out of this Diddy trial and apply it to Joe. Don't grow a beard. There's a weird reason he wants you to grow it. I promise you. I promise you.
Well, he's like, you got to do it. And I'm like,
Because he's carrying baby oil in it.
Listen.
I don't want to know. I've only been in one hotel room with Joe once.
Well, that's one too many times.
Yeah, that is one too many times. I concur with that, Robert. So the
It's
show
about
starts
3
on
years ago, because that's when the change started happening with you.
Wait.
Whoa.
The change sound-
Wait a minute.
What the fuck?
Hold up.
The
What did I
change-
walk into?
Yeah, what the fuck just happened? The change sounds like I'm going through menopause.
That
that's
wasn't the
weird.
change I was
Menopause.
thinking
That's
about.
menopause.
That would explain the mood swings sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a fat guy, we've all had hot flashes.
Yeah.
You've definitely had a hot flash
But
or
that's
a
for
meat sweat.
Get the meat sweat.
Jesus Christ. Fuck me. I hate you, Kyle. I hate you.
No.
Hey, there's the mood swings.
There's the mood swings. But Robert, tell me about what's the coolest. What's one of your best comic stories? Like, because there's got to be like a story where you go, I cannot believe this shit happened, and it happened, and you sitting there and you're like, it's happening around you, and then you're just like, I think I'm part of this. I don't know because
I think it's happening for him right now, JW.
It is. It could be.
Because it's like you always have like weird stories, but then it's how you define the weird stories. Like, so I remember when I first decided I was going to take comedy serious, and what I would do is where I would perform, and I would always ask the headliners, "What's your motivation? What's your motivation?" And so one of the guys, and I was like, hey, so what's your motivation? And the first thing he said was, "Getting my dick sucked," and I was like, "Whoa, are you asking me? Because if you asking me, I'm not."
The answer is no.
Yeah, you're not that famous. Like,
Yeah.
You want to get motivated?
Like,
yeah, like
that's not. Maybe you should change your motivation, sir.
And that
it's
was
like,
He's going on stage unmotivated tonight.
It's like,
and the
what
worst part
happened?
about it was where we were. Like, bruh, if that's your motivation, I don't think you want anybody in there to do that because that's weird.
At the nursing home.
like that one you didn't have.
Yeah, like And so then,
Okay, now Robert was this headliner go by the name P. Diddy at some point? Like,
no, but he was black, and
Okay.
ever since then, I started my transitioning phase. So, probably by mid 2025, I will have transitioned fully into my caucasity.
Well, you're on a very white network. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Listen,
You're jumping in, and it's not the most culturally sound of networks at this point. So I'm happy to have you.
yeah, no, I'm
We
happy to
used
be
to have a
here.
comic on this show, and then these two replaced him, just because he was busy. And like
Oh,
you living the comic life is
Because we're
as
better. Come on.
difficult a job as anybody can ever attempt, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
right.
But
Basically, just said that guy was too busy, so I got these two that have no life. Is what he just told us, Jerry.
I got two that are less
Right.
funny and more engaging,
I'm
and
not even
show
gonna
up every
lie.
week.
That's kind of what I heard, Kyle. Like, yeah, like I
Yeah, I
needed two to
know.
replace the one, and yeah,
Yeah.
thank you guys for
I didn't
showing
get
up.
too much work after I was filmed in Powder,
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Come on,
Oh well, he's always been
Wow.
a fan of
Or the
Jeepers
Addams
Creepers
Family, take your
for a
pick.
for a specific reason. He's always been a fan of Jeepers Creepers. Weird. Well, it's Jesus Christ. I don't even know what to say after that. That's great line.
Fucking
Huh.
hate powder.
This is
There
how
we go.
well, I don't know. I would never replace Jerry.
No,
Jerry and
No,
Kyle are-
Raven, I got a no fire clause thanks to Joe.
Yeah, Joe did give a no fire clause for Kyle, which is weird. Leads me to
But not
believe that
Jerry.
Kyle
Yeah,
and
I'm still
Kyle
on.
and Joe are- So let me ask you a question.
I'm on Chopped.
So
I'm
you're
trying-
starting this podcast. Wait, you're starting this podcast.
Right.
Joe talked you into doing this podcast, or he said he met you a couple times and it just kind of clicked. How did he get you to come on the network? Because like I have a similar Joe experience where we just started talking, and then the guy is so engaging, and also the kind of guy that you want to run through a wall for, right? You know what I mean?
No, I was gonna say he was pretty persistent. Probably harassed, similar to the people that go to the Diddy parties. And finally, I was like, "Look, okay, as long as it's
Okay, I'll
Johnson
do a
and
show.
Johnson, I'll do the freaking show.
Just
Don't
leave me
give
alone.
like the Walmart brand of baby oil. It has to be Johnson and Johnson, and I'm there. And so
I need the quality material. I need
it.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you finally
Pretty
agree
much.
to this
Pretty
after
much.
you left your drink
I need
unguarded
the
around
lotion
Joe?
that has aloe.
Do it.
Please. This is just diverged into craziness.
I'm not sure why Jerry's face is just as shiny with or without the mask.
Well,
I'm
wait,
diverse.
put the mask on for Robert. He'll understand. Put the mask on.
Well, here I got.
This is what I
the old
opened the
part.
show to. Like,
Yeah, not too much of a difference.
yeah,
No,
nothing
not at
says
all.
Oh, that's
Caucasian,
better.
but Robert, that's a specific Caucasian crazy, right?
Nah, I like
there,
that one. That one
that's-
works.
That one's like
It's
the
less-
Purge meets.
It's a
The Diddy
lipstick
party.
that works
Anyway.
for him.
Well, I couldn't find my handsome man mask, so I had to wear one of these.
So you start November 7th. Is the show going to be a weekly thing, or are you doing like what is?
Right now, probably bi-weekly. So the first month, because I didn't think it through, and of course, the subtle harassment from Joe was like, "Hey, I need a date. I need a date. I need a date." So I was like, November 7th.
Fine, November
He was
7th.
like,
Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
No, I got you.
And then I realized 2 weeks after that, I believe it's like Thanksgiving, and I'm like, I'm not fucking doing the show on Thanksgiving. So the first month it's only going to be one, but then after that it's like it's.
So that can I tell you that is one of the greatest things about having your own podcast and doing your own thing. It's like I'm not going to be here for holidays. I'm not going to be anywhere near it. We take a good 3 weeks off in December. We take 2 weeks off, a week off in November. It's nice being your own boss. I'm super excited for the show. Gary's got
Me and Jerry find out about 5 minutes before the end of the final episode, before the break. It's great.
I'm okay with
God, Kyle, I hate you. So, quick question, Robert.
Versatile actor. I'm all right.
Robert, I have one other nerdy question because the show's loud and nerdy. We do nerdy shit. We
Okay.
watch the Twilight,
Wait,
one
what?
episode of the Twilight Zone every week. Do you like the
Oh.
Twilight Zone, Robert?
No. But I don't hate it. I just
Just
I haven't
curious.
watched it.
Okay. That's Kyle.
Robert, we're going to be great friends, Robert.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think.
I found my ride or die on this network finally.
See, it's easy,
Fine,
and I have a great.
fine, I'll
team.
do it. I'll jump. Ready? I hate you, Robert. I hate you, Kyle.
Thank you.
I hate you both.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm
Hey,
still
it's okay.
I'm still in
okay.
the green.
You are just like my wife. She hates me too. It's okay.
We're all in that boat, buddy.
You got one of them
We're all
too?
in that fucking boat.
Yeah, man. As a
Like,
matter of
honey, I
fact,
have
right
a
now,
bunch of toys in my room. Fuck off.
I couldn't even.
Terry and I showed off
get
our
my
rings. I
computer up.
thought JW was about to pull his shirt up. I don't know what the hell happened.
Well, it's the one
Okay,
ring.
but ring,
It's
it's like-
only the one. It's not really the nipple. It's the superfluous third nipple. But anyway, it is what it is.
The third nipple.
So, Robert, your show starts Thursday, November 7th, 10 p.m. Super excited to have you. And I wish you nothing but the best. And if you need us
Thank you,
on,
man.
or you want to talk about a movie or something,
I think you just got called old,
I
JW.
did ask. What? Go fuck
You
yourself.
just got
Jasper.
called old.
I hate you, Jasper. I hate you, Jamal. I hate you all. Go fuck yourself, all of you. Anyway, I don't care if they don't watch it or
Jerry's got
not.
purdy lips.
I'm hurt. Yeah, it's the same person. It's the same person.
Oh,
So I'm super excited for the show. I wish you nothing but
Thank
the
you.
best. I hope you enjoy
I
the
appreciate
network.
it.
We love having you. We're excited about you starting this up, and doing a different kind of show. We're trying to be the network that creatives unite. Thank you for coming on tonight and talking.
Thanks for having me.
Oh man, it was.
And together we
You're
formed
invited. You can come
Voltron.
back on anytime you want to promote your show. Anytime you want to talk. We talk about
Careful what
movies
you
and
say,
television a lot.
because I might take you up on that.
That's fine. You just have to send me a message and be like, "Hey, I need to promote something, or I need to promote a comic that's coming on." That's we'll be happy to
Or-
do it.
Or I called in and I've been drinking all day. I just want to talk.
That's
I'm not
that.
saying-
All the way you just so we're clear, the way you said that sounded like you also needed to spoon. But I'm just
I've been-
the way you said it. Not
I
judging.
think we just got Bacardi as a sponsor.
I've been
And
drinking all day, and I might need a call.
And with that statement, it lets me know that you have indeed spent the night in the room with Joe.
That's exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad.
Yeah.
He could not hold his liquor. It was not a good night. I was super drunk, and it was a weird night. Anyway,
All right, so
thank you for
there's
joining
a
us.
serious question. What's the format of the show that he's going to have? Is it
Yeah,
going
is
to be
it
just
hour and a half? What are we doing?
So it's
an
gonna
hour
be an
and a
hour.
half? It's all coming.
No, I think I'm gonna start off just an hour. Right now, line up my people, and like I say, just basically tell stories. A lot of it is just basically from my mind and the things that I think about because I'm weird. Like I think I'm weird. Some people think it's normal, but I think it's some.
I do that on this show, and I get told that he hates me.
Yeah. I do that with my wife, and
Yeah.
I get told she hates me.
Oh,
So
my
it's
wife tells me
weird.
all the time too. Yeah.
My first
so-
name is Jerk.
Clear, he deserves the hate. Don't make it seem.
Yeah.
Don't make it seem like I'm the bad guy here. I'm not.
Well, if you ask my wife, she says I deserve it too. That's how I know the good jokes. Or when she wants to kill me, or she makes me hang out with the dogs, I'm like, that's a good one. I'm
Yeah,
ready
when
to
you
That's-
run
that's
away and you're
joke.
going,
yeah. Like right now, I'm on the laptop that's generally used for the dogs. So I've been turning white for a while. Yeah. My dogs have
it's
a
like
computer. so that they can-
you're becoming more white, Robert, when the dog food is like the stuff that's refrigerated.
Yeah.
Like
In the garage. It's in the
That's-
refrigerator in the garage.
it's in the refrigerator in the garage, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened?
see.
This dog is eating better than I am."
Yep. And they get to watch YouTube all day.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for the little bastards to talk.
Just get the
Our
chill.
dogs have food both in the fridge and the kitchen. And then my wife has a mini fridge in her office with just a little bit of dog food up there in that fridge too, just in case.
We have failed.
Yeah.
Man, every
We
word
have
is
failed
dog food.
as a society. Anyway,
I need
Robert,
to become a dog.
thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to the show. Who's Robert?
Jasper, we already went through that.
Jasper, we already went through this.
Yeah, it's
No, Jasper,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to pay
on the
attention.
hush.
If
That's on the hush.
you're gonna say I'm old and whatever, and then you're gonna have a fucking thing where you're like,
Oh, you watching? Y'all still here? Okay, my bad. I thought y'all.
I
Turned
didn't turn the camera off, Robert.
My
What
bad.
the fuck? They're not
glad
supposed
I
to
know
know
that.
about that till the
Yes.
show starts. Like that would be the greatest.
Hold
single
on,
thing
wait a
ever
minute.
is- wait a second. That's the co-host of the show. Would be the most amazing thing ever.
No. I want to know if that's the wife that's talking to him and says that she hates him.
No. She
Okay,
doesn't talk too
okay,
much. She's
good.
real traumatized.
He's giving her a little bit of witness protection.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I died
Okay.
deep.
Put the right hat on the mannequin
Well,
to
with the
become
weird-
the life at night.
With quite possibly the weirdest segment in the history of mannequins. Actually, it actually is a perfect tie-in when we get there, Jerry, because the Twilight Zone episode tonight is about mannequins.
Actually,
Anyway,
you're 100%.
thank you for joining me. I swear to God, everything it all ties in. It's all fucking part of something, right? Thank you for coming on tonight, Robert. We appreciate
Hey,
you.
once again, thanks for having me.
Oh no, and like you said, you're invited on anytime. You want to come on next week? We'll have you back on. We'll talk some more.
That's a true statement right there.
Oh, we're not
Robert.
doing. Yeah, we're not doing a show next week. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't mean
we're all
that.
gonna be,
I meant
we're
to
all going to be
comment.
traumatized next Tuesday night. Anyway, moving on. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.
You.
We
All
appreciate
right.
you.
Have a good
Take
one,
care, Robert.
Meet
Thank
you, man.
That guy was great, and we're
absolutely.
dysfunctional. But here's the interesting thing: we're going to go long tonight, and it is going to happen. But we had one guest. Our other guest was late, but that's okay because he's here now. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I'm super excited.
I haven't talked to him
in a long time. And him and I were like, we were always drinking together, always doing something together. Big, loud, nerdy welcome, please. Jason A. Jason,
Hey,
how are you, brother?
I'm all right, man. It's been a long many years. Hey, Jeremy, we are 3 North Pocono boys here. Look at this.
right?
How are you, brother?
It's been a little over 30 years.
I know.
I don't even know how long it is now.
It feels like the 90s were like 8 years ago.
Right?
I would agree. And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden you look down at the fucking you're a January baby too. I remember. Aren't you a January?
No, May. I'm a May boy.
You're May.
You were close.
But
Yeah, 5 months off. You're in the ballpark. Yeah, half a year.
this is the first time I've ever been on anything like this. It's pretty cool.
You know what, Jason? Two things. I wanted to have you on because I think a lot of us are looking as we get older, and a lot of us are looking for just reconnection, connection, being back with people we loved and cherished, and you and I hit it we hit into something about I think it was like a month and a half ago, and you're doing these cool music videos, and I responded and I was like, you know what? I fucking miss him. We used to walk fucking Route 6 with traffic all around us.
We
to get
used to
from
go.
Dumont to Top Dog.
Yeah. We had the whole route. We had the whole route, and I remember being so excited knowing that Friday night, me, you, and Ted Baird and whoever we were going to hit the Eric, and that meant Top Dog, and
that meant the world, and we had such a good fucking time. And
oh yeah,
and then I saw you doing these music videos, and I know you've had some health issues. I've had health issues. We're both broken people.
Yes, sir.
Which is amazing that we're still around and we're still fighting it and kicking it and doing it every day.
We're survivors, though.
Yes, I'm the cockroach of podcasters. But you've been doing these music videos and you've been doing covers of songs, and I just want to get up this right. So you have all these things going on where it's Powerful, Thunderclown, Powerful 515, TikTok, right? You have all these different things where you're doing these cool covers Give me an idea of what music you've been covering and what people can expect if they go on and do any of these things, where they go to Twitter and check you out, or YouTube.
Okay. Well,
give me an idea.
YouTube is probably my foundation. I'm trying to, download onto TikTok too, but let me speak on first. I'm in bed most of the day. My spine injury has me down. I'm having problems with it healing. So, I decided to bring something that'll give me, enjoyment and hope to, keep going on, which of course you search for in times like this when you're injured and readjusting. So I brought the studio to the bed and I record these songs.
Great. That is you, man.
Yeah, and I'm working with what I have. Everything you hear is just the microphones on the camera. I record a video performance of me playing and singing the song, and then in this cheap video editing app, it allows me 4 audio tracks and 4 video tracks.
Super expensive video app. So when you go to YouTube, people can pay and get a Patreon and that sort of thing. So we want super expensive, Jason. It's super expensive. Sure. You need to make sure it's super expensive. We need to cover those costs.
As much as I would love that, though, honestly, I've reached a point in my life where I can do it just for the sake of doing it without that worry of, when you're a touring band, you're trying to recoup your money. You're trying to make it so you can keep going financially. To have that lifted from me in this situation, I'm doing songs from the radio from when I was a kid, from late 70s to like 86, as like, and it's therapy. It's not about, like, I'd love to have the views. I'd love to have 1 million views, but I'd be stoked at 100 of my friends that I know really do view the work I'm doing and enjoy it.
And that's, but dude, that is why your shit touched me. That is why I reached out. I reached out to you in private messages. I reached out like saying, hey, this is fucking banging. Like, this is the Jason A. I remember who stole my role in the school musical, you motherfucker.
Moonface Martin.
What role?
Moonface Martin,
what role was it for?
It was Moonface Martin in Anything Goes. And
yeah.
Jason and I had a very we vied for it, the same role. He beat me out.
And then I didn't take it.
Then you didn't fucking take it, and then they gave it to Dorico's kid, and it just fucking.
That's right. I'm so sorry.
Bad. He was so bad.
Well, now you're sorry.
Dorico's kid got
super talented kid. Wait a second. I was okay with losing the role to Jason because I always feel Jason and I shared a brain cell with regards to being in our own minds the criminals in our own heads. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Always loved you though. You were always in the group. We had one fight. Yeah, it was silly.
Fight? It was so fucking silly. Dumb. So fucking dumb.
Didn't we come to the conclusion it was dumb and then it was over?
That's exactly what happened.
Okay, cool.
That's exactly what happened.
Well, guys,
we both raised our arms and were like, "Do we want to do this? This makes no sense."
Especially if it's over a girl, Jer. Especially if it's over a girl, guys will be like, "Wait, is this bitch worth it?"
It wasn't even
Let's go get a
girl. It
and then she's all mad because nobody's after her. Like,
Jesus Christ, it wasn't even my girl. Anyway, you have no idea how many times I've heard the story. Yes, Jason, he is famous. Jason and I, and Jason also, he also worked at a place in Scranton called Proof Rocks. I did my first professional acting gig at Proof Rocks.
God.
Yes, right?
I remember that place.
I did, and still see the salt at Proof Rocks.
You played there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you play there?
I think we did. Oh my, that was
in the back room at Unity Fest or something.
We did something there. I mean, we started in '98, so
I remember
that's a long time,
What
I
did
remember
you do there, JW?
I did a show by Vanston.
Oh, okay.
One of the guys that owned all the funeral homes in Scranton, and he was big into Northern Ireland. He was big into because he was Irish, and he was big into telling the stories about Northern Ireland, like about the Troubles and about
Right.
the hunger strikes at the Maze prison. And so I was in that show. I got professionally paid for that show.
Oh, wow.
And it was the most nerve-wracking fucking show of my life because it wasn't like always being a dick. It was just very serious and about guys on a hunger strike. And I was like, I'm a fat guy though. That doesn't really work out. And, it was just it was weird. But it was a professionally paid gig.
Sure.
He's the one.
Do you know that
He's
place
the one
was
that's eating all the food.
that place was the third internet cafe in the world?
You were saying that. I was reading that
Really?
today, right? Like just where the connections you make in this life are an incredible thing, right?
Yeah, at the time I didn't know.
Right, and I was thinking about I remember one of the times I saw you, I had gone to school in DC and I came back and I started going to the University of Scranton. I went to a house party on the hill and I looked up and you were in the band and you saw me from across the room and we were just like I was just vibing with you and we drank the entire fucking night. And
I remember that.
Do you remember? It was like one of the weird house parties.
It was wasn't it up on like Monroe Avenue or back on Linden Street?
Yeah, like right around there. And it was like one of the fucking like weirdest things. I went to a party and you were there and you were like, and you pointed me out. And then like, it was just like,
Yeah.
It was like putting on slippers,
I should have been at that party. I went to the University of Scranton.
Well, we were talking, this is an interesting thing with Jerry, right? So Jason, Jerry and I discovered so first off, Jerry and I I had him on, we were talking a few times and we were talking about all those Friday nights at movie theaters in northeastern Pennsylvania. Yeah. And it turns out that you, me, and Jerry were probably in the same fucking movie theaters on the same nights.
Probably.
And so we were the one we were talking about. There was what was the name of the fucking movie with the tree lady? Fuck.
The tree lady.
The tree. She was a nanny, but she was actually like a demon tree woman.
Guardian.
The Guardian.
Yes.
We got into a brawl at the Guardian, and I think you were with me. And I think it was you, me, Larry Black, Eric
Larry
Wright, Black, a couple extra people, Eric Wright, a couple extra people, and you and me, and we were fucking barking at the screen like this is the dumbest fucking movie we're ever at.
I think I have that on VHS over here. Too.
We got into a fight, and Jerry's like, I remember going to see The Guardian. There was a big brawl at the back of the theater. I'm like, that was me. That was us.
I was there. I was probably there with Jim Pallow and Scott Brown.
Oh my God, I haven't heard those names in forever. How old them guys doing?
Well, Jimmy passed away, unfortunately. Scott, I hang out with Scott all the time still.
Oh, that's
awesome.
That's amazing.
You still rock out, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I try. It's not getting easier, but
right.
Oh no, it wasn't Into the Woods. Miss, it was a 90s. It was like a 91. I think it was 91 horror film.
Yeah, around that time, 91.
But so Jason, I just wanted you to come on, and I wanted everybody to experience. Like your videos are a lot of fun. They're psychedelic. They make me think of watching when we were kids, watching like the Monkees or watching like, you know what I mean? And they went to like the musical segments of the shows.
Right. Well, what we're trying to do with it is I don't consider recording a song or making a video because I'm kind of, it's a whole media piece in itself. And the fact I'm doing it with just a phone, I call it a vid song because I don't know what else to call it. It's video based, but I'm also mixing and laying tracks like audio.
Yeah, but you did a cut of what was the song you did the other day? I'm blanking on it.
Heart of Glass by Blondie.
Yeah, you did Heart of Glass, and like
Nice.
just the way you're singing it and how it's like it's this cover, but it's like it's a whole entirely different song. And,
well, I reinterpret it, you know,
Yeah.
and I like to. Generally, the music I make sounds like the geographical place I moved to. My band Birds of India with Kevin Lee from Scranton and Tim O'Malley. We got a review and they called the music Desert Noir. And it did. It sounded like desert music. And
Desert Noir. That's a great fucking review.
Now I'm in the Ozarks. And so like I'm turning these 80s synth pop classics into these like Ozark Hills American folk. I'm using mandolins and ukuleles and only
cool.
string instruments.
That's cool shit. Jerry,
lots of harmony.
No, they're incredible. The videos are really incredible, and that's why I get very few chances on the show to have people on I actually love in my life.
Love you too.
You know, and I just wanted, you know, whatever I can do, and also putting you in contact with Jerry, who is Jerry. What's TikTok number at these days, buddy? What are you at? 7 million?
No. 108.
No. 108
Really?
million?
No, 108,000 followers.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Jerry's been on fire.
I'm gonna check that out the minute that this is over. It's your band or you you?
Slapjaw 1998.
Wow, you guys have been that straight solid for the whole
years, man.
Man, that's awesome, dude.
I love it. I thought we would be done at 10 years. Then I thought 20. We're like, oh, we'll retire at 20. 26 years, we're still doing it.
No reason to stop
like
now.
You, like it's like you love it, right?
You can't turn that faucet off.
You can't explain it to people either, right? Like it chose you, right?
That's right.
That's how I describe it. You can leave it for a little while, but it never leaves you. That's like,
well, and that's what the fascination was. Like I told you, Jerry. Remember 2 weeks ago, I told you, I'm like, and Jerry we will avow this, I believe. I told Jerry, I'm like, I found Jason, and Jason's like making these cool music videos. I got to try to get him on at some point. I got to try to get him on, and I've been keeping in contact with him. And then I was thinking about it, and I looked down one day on my phone, and you had written the absolute nicest compliment I may have ever received.
Oh,
and it was just something that, it's just something that hit me, two feet deep here. Yeah.
Reconnecting with people. Reconnecting with people when I do it, I just feel so much joy because of what happened to me in my close calls and realizing, I'm 50 now. So what do I got? 25 tops left. Things are a little more special now. And now that I'm reconnecting, I don't want to let go again. I talk to Ted Barrett at least 3-4 times a week, and I don't ever want to not ever again.
That was the nice thing. You were saying 25 tops. I got like a little like thing put in my chest. And so it's like, they said we won't have to go back in for maybe 11 years the way it's working. I'm like, oh, good. Let's not open my chest ever again. Thank you. So Jason, people can find all your stuff on YouTube. Let's send them to YouTube, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Sure.
Powerful Thunderclown on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And what I want everybody to do that's watching the show tonight, the first thing I want you to do when you get done, I want you to go like Jason's shit, subscribe so he gets some subscribers, and I want to have you back on. I want to, Missy's writing about the 90s. Yeah, I'm sorry I called you the 90s old, but Jason and I were talking about it, and like, we're 50 now. We can talk about them as being old. Jerry will have his 50th birthday. You're December, right?
Yep.
So Jerry's right at the end.
I'm young. I started at 4 4 years old. So I should have been class of 93 instead of 92, but
That's
you
good.
guys
You,
got stuck
you
with
ended
me,
up,
so-
just so we're clear, you ended up in a better class.
Exactly.
Hey,
Class that-
Eastern Conference champions. Hey, you know that football game is on YouTube?
Yes,
game is
I
on
did
YouTube.
see it. We got
Yes,
kicked out of
I
Spirit
lost
Week,
my-
too.
I watch it.
I lost my fucking voice at that game.
Yeah, I watch
I
it all the
lost-
time.
I
You
lost
know-
my fucking voice.
You
at that
know
game.
that they had a reunion for that like 2 years ago?
Did they
Really?
Yeah, they had it at the high school, and Schumbers was there, and Mark Jackett, and Keith Olsemer, like they all.
Kroom.
Yep, Kroom.
Oh,
Kroom's a
man.
teacher there now too. So
Yeah, I'll tell you, that game was special for a high school game. That could have been a national level quality game, man. We had our
was a
linemen
great-
were huge.
Probably the greatest game in Northeastern PA football history.
One of the best Pennsylvania teams ever.
Yeah, that Berwick team was ridiculous. That Berwick
Yeah.
team, Paulus and fucking
Paulus was good.
I fucking hated that guy. Anyway,
Sorry.
it's all reminiscent. It's all
nostalgia.
You have a lot of hate.
he recruited
You have a
college
lot
kids.
of hate in your heart, JW.
Who has a lot of hate?
The amount of people you said you hate tonight is like off the charts.
Would you prefer
Only you,
I say
Kyle.
strongly- yeah, only you would say bring that up, Kyle. I hate you, Kyle. No, you say okay, so you say I have a lot of hate in my heart. In reality, most people know I'm a softie. I'm trying to be I'm always working to try to make people better and feel better, and I miss people, and I have strong connections that my wife every once in a while will go on and be like, who are you talking to? I'm like, I was talking to somebody from high school. How are you talking to these people? I'm like, everybody talks to them.
Technology.
Yep.
Technology is
Back-
magic. And
you know,
also,
back in the
I
day,
didn't.
I should have been hanging out with you guys too.
Yeah,
You-
man.
You know what? That
I
is
always
that
felt
is a-
that. I
that is
always
another,
felt that.
that is another thing that Jerry and I talked about, right? How the fuck we were at the same fucking movies on the same fucking nights, and somehow we never ever said,
Just- that's
"Hey,
the way
Jerry, you should come
Yeah.
with us."
And me and Jerry should have jammed sometime. We should have just jammed out or something.
That would have been. I think that's something that needs to happen now. Anyway, that's just me. That's just me
You could do
pushing.
that, too.
Pushing. Yeah, you can
Tech-
definitely do that now.
technology.
Technology is amazing. Jason, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to have you on
Hey.
again a couple times in
Okay.
the next couple months. Okay.
Yeah.
And what I want you to do, Loud Nerdy is on Facebook. I would like when you do your videos, upload them to the Loud Nerdy page, and then we'll make sure it gets over
Get
on
'em out
the
there.
Indie Escape Network page. And I want to keep in contact. I want to keep us going, and I want to keep on talking, and just I want to keep on jamming until you and I can't jam anymore. And
Yeah,
I love you and I
exactly.
miss you, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad we could do this tonight, and I'm so glad you could come on. And like I said, now that you have come on, we're just happy to have you, and we're not going to let it end. Okay,
I'll be right here in this bed.
Right.
that's what I know where to find you now.
30
I'll
years
call on a
later,
Tuesday
man.
and be like, "Hey, get your ass up! Get your ass on. I need to talk about music."
And when I come visit back home in Pennsylvania, you guys are on the list. All right, I'm bringing my guitar.
That's
Damn
that's
right,
for
you
Jerry.
are.
I'm not in Pennsylvania anymore, brother. I'm in Florida.
Oh no shit!
Yeah,
I'm still here.
He's in God's
I'm
waiting
stuck
room.
I'm
Lucky
in God's
you.
waiting room. I just couldn't handle the winter.
Yeah,
couldn't
I
handle
hate
it.
winter.
Fucking winter
You
sucks.
can come hang out with me and Kyle. We're here.
Yes, and when
Yeah,
you
I'm down.
when you decide to visit, I'll try to make a plan to go. Jason, have a good night.
You
Everybody,
too,
I want
brother.
everybody to go to YouTube. Powerful Thunderclown. It's way cooler than you actually think. And Jason, stay in the green room. I'm going to bring you down. We have to finish up the show tonight. I'm like, you know what? Just stay. Kyle's going to break out anyway, but we're going to stay. I will do some of the things we normally do on the show.
Hey, I'll just hang around. I'll just hang out.
You just hang out. Okay. Kyle, do you want to break out really quick while we do? Okay.
He knows the drill.
I fucking hate Kyle.
Here
I
he
hate you,
comes.
Kyle.
He had to do that.
First thing we're gonna do tonight that we normally do, it came from Jerry's basement. This is a thing where Jerry has a basement full of movies that basically we pillage, we find, classic horror movies or movies that you may have heard of, and we also find a way for you to watch them now. Jerry, what is the movie tonight for Jason and I? I think Jerry froze.
Uh-oh.
No!
I'm back.
Okay, Jerry, back. Thank God.
All right. Yeah, I lost it.
I thought he was just doing a dramatic pause.
No, tonight's movie is Buried Alive, but
Look at the horns on that chick.
most
Jesus
people will not
Christ.
know this as Buried Alive. Comes with a
Yeah,
warning label.
It's got a warning label.
This is
Yeah, the
also
movie-
known as Beyond the
It
Darkness.
wasn't the horns I was.
Beyond the Darkness.
Yeah, you know what? This is how it came up for me.
And that's right. That's the
Whale
original
Omega.
name. This movie has
And-
3 names.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's got 3 names. So basically, it's a 1979 Italian exploitation horror film directed by Joe D'Amato, right?
Yep.
And basically, it's got to do with voodoo curses and nakedness and everything you want to expect out of an Italian horror film from the 70s.
It's a
Jerry,
taxidermist.
where can people find this?
This
this
is on
ode-
Tubi. And it's a taxidermist trying to keep his dead girlfriend alive, and it's pretty sadistic.
As everybody should. Every great taxidermist has to
But
try.
it is on Tubi, and it's on Tubi as Beyond the Darkness.
You know what? Tubi, I was telling you, Tubi, there's a lot of good shit on like
Yes.
sheer volume of stuff on Tubi is unbelievable. And now, Jason, join us for this amazing part of Buried Alive. Amazing. You have all the tapes. It's like you raided Arl's closet. Anyway,
I did.
How many movies do you think are down there?
Oh boy, I don't know. I never
at least
counted.
700. You have so many.
Oh
fucking-
my God.
There's quite a bit.
Wow.
I've been collecting since I'm like 14, 13, maybe. You know, since Arl's
You
open.
should see, Jason. You should see some of the classic toys he has and the classic games and shit. He has.
I've seen him post some stuff.
He has the Godzilla that fires the fucking missile.
No.
A hand, yeah. I have.
What?
Okay, there was
Right over
a
there.
called Buried Alive. I'm not sure if it's the same movie. It's not the same movie.
It's not.
I think you're.
Uh-oh. We lost
I saw a movie in the
Okay,
80s
really,
that-
I had nothing to do with that. I swear. You clear my name now. But since he's back around.
Thinking of this movie called Buried Alive, which is a movie about a cop that's investigating a series of murders.
trying to get that woman out of the ground.
Yeah, trying to get And
I remember that one.
it has a very big.
I have
twist
that
at
one
the
here
end.
too.
It has a very big twist at the end.
Mhm.
Okay, real quick, just so we can get it in, Jason. We also do Twilight Zone Redux on this show.
Oh,
We
wow.
watch one episode of the Twilight Zone a week. We're almost done with the first season of the Twilight Zone. Shut up, Kyle.
Oh, I'm all about
tonight-
that.
Tonight's episode is called
Yes.
After Hours. The opening narration. The character's name is Marcia. She's in an elevator. Express elevator to the 9th floor of a department store, carrying Miss Marcia White on a most prosaic, ordinary, run-of-the-mill errand. She exits the elevator.
Yes.
Miss Marcia White on the 9th floor specialities department looking for a gold thimble. The odds are that she'll find it, but there are even better odds that she'll find something else, because this isn't just the department store. This happens to be the Twilight Zone. So it's this really interesting episode that I know I've definitely seen. I didn't mute Kyle. Kyle left on his own. I
He
never
mutes
muted him.
himself.
He mutes himself. Don't believe the hype that I'm mean to Kyle. Marcia. Yes, we're going to talk about that in a second, Jasper. So Marcia is this girl. She's walking around the department store. She's looking for it. She's beautiful. She's young. She gets on one of the elevators when all the other people are not on the elevator. The guy says, she's like, why don't I have to wait? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. He takes her to the 9th floor. She gets off the 9th floor, and there's nothing on the 9th floor except mannequins and boxes and displays and one gold thimble with one cashier who has the gold thimble. Plot thickens, right, Jerry? It gets weird.
Yep.
She pays $25 in cash for the thimble. She takes it downstairs, realizes it's scratched, dented, whatever. And also, the cashier is rude. The best I can say is
calls her
she's
by
rude.
name too, and she thought it was strange.
She calls her by name, and then she
I
calls her
didn't
by
tell
her
you my name.
first and last name. which is completely fucking creepy because again, it's do you want cash or charge? And she says cash, and then she says okay, Marcia, and then as she's walking away, she's like, thanks for the purchase, Miss White, and it just becomes this fucking creepy like, why does that lady know me? Why is there nobody else on the floor? All these different things. So she goes and she complains to the manager, and the manager's like freaking out. Except the interesting thing, Jerry, is there is no 9th floor to the department store. So what elevator was she on? How did this all work?
Crazy.
They think she's a fucking loon, and then they say you can take it back if you have your receipt. She doesn't have a receipt. So it becomes this weird, like, stuck in a department store kind of episode. And then things break out where she accidentally gets lost and stuck in the store on the 9th floor after hours. At which point, she begins to get surrounded by all the fucking mannequins, and they're all talking to her. And it starts off that they're not animated; they're just kind of mannequins talking with voices. Very weird, very creepy. Cultural differences that are happening that you would like to see about talking about something being really creepy as you're viewing it now, but would have been creepy when it was put out in the. I think it's creepy. I think it's good writing, right, Terry? I think it's creepy on the general, and I also think it's creepy that's kind of throughout writing, horror writing, depending. But not all episodes are horror based, but this one is a little bit scary. She gets stuck in the department store. She runs around. She gets surrounded by the mannequins. And eventually, the plot gets laid out that basically all the mannequins, 1 month a year, get to leave the department store and become human. And basically, the reason she's in trouble is because she's over her days, her allotment of days. She forgot that she was a mannequin. And she also, and so the lady that was upset with her and kind of treating her awful was basically, it was her turn. And so it becomes this amazing like episode where, and the moment they say, Marcia, don't you realize, Marcia, it's Marcia, which is really funny because it's well ahead of the Brady Bunch. And then, the lady's like, I was mean to you because you forgot it was my turn, and we were trying to be mean so that you would understand that you're breaking the rules. And she immediately remembers. I
remember now.
Yeah, and it's like the episode is really interesting. It's different.
That's deep.
Well, and that's her walking around, and then this is what she becomes near the end. The thing is,
that's a real woman.
No, that's not. That's the mannequin they made for the show.
Okay.
And it becomes this incredible like thing where, and that's the mannequin of the other lady. So they made real mannequins for the show. I read up on it today. They made legit mannequins for the show. And at the actors. So the manager that was talking crazy to the lady, too coincidental. The comedian Robert Bassett.
He's going crazy. Look at his face.
Yes, the manager recognizes her and does what I think is a first camera take in the history of the Twilight Zone. It's the
first what?
It's the first fourth wall break of the Twilight
Zone. Yeah.
The guy looks at her and he looks back at the camera and just kind of like does a weird like.
Wow, that's a good use of breaking the fourth wall.
It is perfect. Don't tell Elaine. So the closing narration is Marcia White in her normal and natural state, a wooden lady with a painted face who 1 month out of the year takes on the characteristics of someone as normal in flesh and blood as you and I. But it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Just how normal are we? Just who are we, the people we nod to hellos as we pass down the street? A rather good question to ask, particularly in the Twilight Zone. So the interesting thing here, and one of the things we talk about, Jason, every week, the head of the mannequin double for Anne Francis was made from a cast of Anne Francis's face done by makeup artist William Tuttle. And then he displayed the mannequin head in the MGM short film, The King of the Duplicators. Also, Jerry, is there a famous movie that has mannequins that come to life?
I think
called Mannequin.
I think I
Mannequin
went
on
with
the
my
Move?
friend Steve Pauly to see that.
You definitely went. He was a Kim Cattrall fan before.
I
Sex
have
and the City.
Mannequin over here. I know I do.
But that's what I mean. Like we talk about the Twilight
That's a
Zone
great movie.
Jason,
With the
because it's
Starship on the soundtrack. Starship did the soundtrack.
Yes,
Yeah.
And
yeah, I
we
mean,
can build
so
this thing
this thing-
together.
standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world comes out of nothing, we'll still have each other. Anyway,
All right, you guys have a fun show. This is great.
so next week we get a great episode that's based on Casey at the Bat, called The Mighty Casey. It is episode let's see, it is episode 35 out of 36.
Twilight Zone?
Twilight episode 35 out of 36. We've done all 35.
Almost
Wow.
done with season 1.
Almost
They're-
done with season 1.
Their writers are something else.
They really are. Richard Matheson, Rod Serling, an incredible thing. TV show when Nick Lewis first came out that had a mannequin come to life too. That's it. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Like I said, it's a very
I
recurring theme.
remember the show. I don't remember the name of it, but the mannequin's name was Jeff. I remember.
Jeff, are you talking? You're not talking about the Late Show with Craig Ferguson, right? Jeff, that Jeff.
No, it was in the 80s. It was like on right around the Fraggle Rock time too on Nickelodeon and like
Fraggle Rock.
Oh, it was like that time era. He was like in a department store, and when the department store was closed, it came to life.
Today's special is the name of the show. Today's special. Okay, so what a great episode.
No, Jasper, not Little Wonder. That wasn't a mannequin. That was a robot.
Little Wonder. That was a robot.
Small Wonder. That was Small Wonder.
That was Small Wonder.
Yeah.
It was Vicky the robot, which wasn't as good as Alf.
I used to watch that though.
I think everybody watched it. It was on Saturdays at 6, wasn't it? Like 5:36.
Something like that. And then I watched Benny Hill at 7:30.
Okay, so Jason.
Yeah.
Finishing up with you, my friend.
Yeah.
Big thing going on. We want to make sure everybody goes and visits your YouTube and everything. I'm so excited to reconnect with you. So excited to have you on.
Me too.
Pinwheel era.
And hey, I do upload about every week. I put something new up, so it's never stale.
Pinwheel spinning around.
Pinwheel.
Hey, look for it. I did the A-Team action figure commercial song. I'm going to be dropping it in 2 days.
That's awesome. That's something perfect for our show.
They're the A-Team. You know, they're soldiers of fortune. They're the A-Team helping people in need.
This has been an incredible Jeff Manning here. Today's special appearance. A retool of somebody makes it come to life when someone says hocus pocus, alamagocus. The hat comes off, he turns back into a mannequin. So essentially, Frosty rules. Frosty rules is this. But yeah.
How did someone notice a hocus pocus alamagocus to get it to happen the first time?
Klaatu
Brada Nicto. Klaatu Brada necktie.
That's it. I said it.
Klaatu Barada.
It's spell you almost, not spell you almost.
Actually, this is all tying in. Did Kyle ever watch Benny Hill? That's a good question. Okay, so last night, this is all tying in. I didn't know if Jerry knew this, and now we can ask. That's YouTube Powerful Thunderclown. I want everybody to go find Jason's stuff. But we watched Nightmare on Elm Street last night, okay, for a Generation movie. And a couple things. So in the end credits, it says thanks to Sean Cunningham, right? So 1984, Sean Cunningham, Sam Raimi, and Jack Shoulder. So Jack Shoulder is the man who directed Alone in the Dark, and he also directed Freddy's Revenge, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, and he also directed a movie called The Hidden, which is a fantastic.
I love The Hidden.
What is The Hidden?
The Hidden is a sci-fi movie where one of the cops, Kyle MacLachlan, gets taken over by an alien, and they have to chase down another alien that's on the planet illegally. And it was Men in Black before it was Men in Black.
Yeah,
and it's a great movie. It's a great action movie.
It's the person that hides and hide and go seek.
But Jack Shoulder directed He directed Nightmare on Elm Street 2, directed The Hidden, and directed Alone in the Dark. And so this led me down a rabbit hole. Why is Wes Craven thanking Sam Raimi and Sean Cunningham? Sean Cunningham did second unit direction on a Nightmare on Elm Street because he wasn't getting paid because Friday the 13th got stolen from him. So Wes Craven hired him. Then this is where it gets crazy. In The Hills Have Eyes, right? Or in The The Evil Dead, The Hills Have Eyes poster is on the cabin wall. In Evil Dead Part 2, the place where Ash pushes the chainsaw in is Freddy's hand is on that. So it became like a lifelong thing where they put Easter eggs in. And last night yesterday for the first time ever, I noticed in A Nightmare on Elm Street when Nancy is trying to go before Glenn gets killed via geyser blood. Spoiler alert. Sorry. Nancy is watching The Evil Dead. I never noticed it.
That's right. She is.
I never noticed it before. And then I realized that Wes Craven and Sam Raimi loved each other's work and they were constantly competing with each other, but also they loved each other's work.
Cool. And Glenn's watching Miss Nude America, and who cares what she says?
They're ping-ponging messages. That's so cool.
That's cool that they did that, though. I didn't know they did.
Yes, I didn't pay attention to it. And then I went down a rabbit hole. Craven and Raimi loved each other. And that makes, to me, in our minds, our horror-addled brains, right, Jerry? Awesome. Wes Craven and Sam Raimi liking each other's movies makes perfect sense.
It does.
That's cool.
It's super cool. But okay, so this is where we can find all of Jason's stuff. Jerry, where can we find all your great stuff with regards to Slapjaw?
Well, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, mainly.
I think Jerry just invented Tick-a-Book.
Tick-a-Book. We should do it.
Tick-a-Book.
What about you? Did you get any cool new pops? Or what do you got going on? I know you just finished your last Rocky Horror Show. So happy for you, but I know how big it's been to your life.
I got nothing.
Got nothing?
Just happy.
I know, and I'm so happy for you. We are retired, and how this is the best way to go out on a show. You can find all my stuff, JW Movie Guy, on Facebook, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky. It's still Twitter. I don't give a fuck what the guy says. It's Twitter, Rocky Horror Love Story. Thank you, Jason. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Yeah, JW, can I mention something too?
Yes.
There's a Pennsylvania music promoter. He also had a show on WMUH. His name is Rich Gensiak, Gensiak. He has he's beloved by the Lehigh Valley. He booked bands his whole life. He booked my bands at shows, always paid the bands, did stuff for the sake of music. His cancer has become aggressive, and he's getting moved to a place. You could look him up on Facebook, RICH, last name GENSIAK. There's a GoFundMe for him. He's having a hard time, and he deserves community support for all he's given us over the years.
Awesome. That is, I don't know that there's a better way for us to end the show tonight. I know we went long tonight. Sorry, folks, but it was one of the best shows we've ever had. Two great guests. I want to thank Robert, who's got his big show coming up starting on November 7th, World Class Clown with Robert Bass, starting November 7th, 10 p.m. I want to thank the incomparable Jason A. for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for coming on, brother. I love you.
Good seeing you, man.
Thinking of you, and and everybody take a look at YouTube. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great day. It was great. It was a weird, wild, and wonderful episode. Super long, guys. But it's okay. Take care. Bye.
See you guys.